Hi everyone, so welcome in this course of baking texture and light in Maya. So baking is very important if you are working for a game project or if you are making some game models and all, you have to bake. What is baking? That means the lights you use in the Maya and the texture you use in the Maya. So after baking, the light and the texture all combine in that model, and the light and its shadow, its intensity and all the parameters of the light will behave as a texture in that model. So let's have a look about the baking of texture and light in Maya. So for that, what I will do, I have some models. At first I will select this part, which is the sword model, and I will just go to Maya files and have this model to be imported in the Maya, and we'll put the model over here. The model is been imported in the Maya, and what else we have to do, we just have to make a plane. And but at first I will do one more thing. We'll just select this part and object mode, Ctrl G to group it, and we'll go to window, and here we have the outliner. We rename this. After that we'll select this group and we'll scale it down. Okay, scale it down, and we'll just put it over here. So press F, so we don't have to collapse it. We will just put somehow like this. Okay, so now what we will do, we'll just select the plane, and also we go to the polygon tab, and we'll add some random edges like this. Okay, so as you can see, we have just added some random edges, and we'll move here, right click object mode, select the plane, and we'll go to the mesh, and here you have the smooth. So now your plane is being smooth. And also what else we have to do, I will just select each and every part and put some texture. So this would be the sword. At first there is the history. As you can see, there is a lot of history. So I will select the model and will go to edit, delete by type, history. As you can see, all the history has gone, only 3 things are there. So I will select this part and right click, assign new material. So before assigning, I will go to the render settings and make sure that it's in Maya software. We will not use mental ray right now. We will switch it to mental ray later words. Why this gonna happen, we will discuss it in the session. So we'll select this part, right click, hold your right mouse button, assign new material, and here would be the plane, and we have some textures also. So I will go to color and we'll just put some texture from here. We'll have the file and we'll click over here, and sword texture, I have the steel texture. As if I press 6 button, you can see the steel texture. Okay, so now I will select this part and will rename this blade region. Okay, we'll select this both, right click, assign new material, and we'll use the Lambert because this would be dull, and we'll use the color. Go to file, click here, and the elastic part. So okay, we will not open the UV because we have to just discuss about the fundamentals, so we will not focus on the UV. You can do it well. If you press 1, you can just open the UV, but we will not use UV in this because we have to just focus on the fundamentals of baking of textures and lighting, because UV we have already discussed about the UV in a previous class, and also we have make some separate tutorial for UV. So we'll select both of them and we'll rename this top and bottom. So rename is very important. If you go to window, and here you have the rendering editors, and in rendering editors you have the Hypershade. So if you don't rename your model, you will be get confused. So we will use the Hypershade. So if you rename it, that would be fine. We'll select this part and we'll assign new material, and we'll use the Lambert itself and will create the color. So I will put some jute texture here, so you can put it as per your need. So I will put some jute texture and will rename this handle. Okay, so now we have this sword, and after that we'll select this. We'll go to assign new material, we'll just select the blend, and I will put some normal texture, so we'll go to color. Okay, now we'll use the file, and right now I'm using this steel kind of texture. You can use marble or tiles or any other checkered type of texture. So now it's been applied, as you can see. So it's been applied. So here is the default container has formed. So no problem. Now we have these this ground, so we'll rename this ground. So let's have a test render and let's see what happens. Okay, now it doesn't casting any shadow and all. So what we will do, we'll just select any of the lights from the rendering tab. Here we have the lights, so we'll just use a directional light. You can use point light or even spotlight, area light, and the ambient and all. Okay, so I'm using the directional light, and if I just increase the size of the light, if I go up to here, it'll move here, it'll move somehow here, and we'll press 7 button. You can see this, the model is getting light. It's the light is casting into the model. As if you rotate the light, definitely your model will just have the light and all. So I just put it over here, and if I look at the model, what we are getting, let's have a look. Okay, fine. So now what we will do, at first I will just decrease the render size, because right now we are in testing mode. So what we will do, we'll select this light, and in light you have directional light set, and in light you have shadows. So we have a very simple model, and the model is also very low poly, and we don't have any other model in this scene. So our scene is quite lighter. So you can increase the shadow by use depth map shadow and can increase the resolution. Okay, now if you look at your shadow, you will find that there would be some noises. As you can see, this is because to the resolution is 512. If you increase this by 2000, what happens, your shadow would be not so pixelate. Okay, so if you increase this, if you have a heavy model, definitely the render time will take much more as compared to the lighter model. So make sure that you will have a good PC. You can increase this resolution, and also if you have the good PC, you can work in this particular, which is filter size wise and all, shadow intensity. So these are the features of shadow. You can increase the filter size. Okay, that will take some time to render, obviously, yes. So now as you can see, it's getting a little bit of faded at the corners. If you increase the filter size, definitely it will affect. So right now we have the sword and the directional light. Only one light I'm using. You can use 2 or 3 lights according to your need. So what I will do now, as I will go to the window, and here we have the rendering editors. So in rendering editors we have the Hypershade. Hypershade is just like that of, if you select any object and just press right mouse button and just go to its property, just like assign new material, whatever you get in here, you will all get in the Hypershade. So if I click and just drag, you can see these things are same in your assign new material. So okay, that means Hypershade has more freedom to manually select all the things one by one. So if you want to select, you just have to click and just go to its attribute and select the same. But Hypershade has this features also, which is the sub features of Hypershade, as you can have different things here. So that means if you want to work more detail in texture, you can have to understand the concept of Hypershade. So now we'll just select the model at first one by one. We'll select the model, and as you know that we have just renamed this blade region, which is Fong, I think. So here you have that particular one. So I will select this one, shift select this texture which has been implemented to it, and what else we have to do, we'll go to edit, and in edit you have very much panels, but we will focus only in one panel right now. So here you have the convert to file texture. So convert to file texture Maya software. So I'm not using this one, I am using its settings. So I will go to its settings now. Dialog box has opened. So make sure that your anti-alias will be off. We are not using anti-alias, so it would be off. That means it will take maximum times. Okay. Now background mode is shader default, and fill texture seems okay. This would be checked. Bake, we have to bake the shading, group lighting, and we need shadow to be baked. So after that, when it gets over, we will delete this light, and your model will be lighter as compared to this one. That means if you have extra lights, if you have many more features like IES and all in the light, you can just bake the light and the texture so that your scene would be lighter. That means in gaming industry, the artist uses this baking system to have high poly games into low and high quality texture into medium or low quality according to the need of the director in the game. So we have this convert to file texture, and UV range is by default. And one more thing is that, as we have discussed about the shadow of the light, if you increase the shadow, definitely the shadow would be smooth, soft. If you decrease the level, it would produce raster and it will form some blocks, and same in this also. If you need your texture to be very much detailed in high quality, then you have to just increase the resolution. So I will increase by 1024. You can increase more than that, but I am using 024. Okay, so I will just enter it. If you want to increase 3000, you can increase. That would be the texture would look very much detailed and all. So JPG file format, we have chosen the JPG file format, and we'll go to convert and close. So if you converted, it will automatically close this panel, this particular one. So let's check each and everything is fine or not. Transparency, we doesn't have any transparency object here, so we'll not choose that one. So right now I will just go to convert and close. Now it's converted, and as you can see, new textures has formed here. Okay, so now what I will do, as you can see, it has lowered the quality of the texture, and if I increase by 2000 more than that, it will definitely work quite well. Okay, so as you have know that we haven't opened the UV, you can open the UV and just put the texture, so the texture will not stretch like this. Okay, so no problem, we have to focus in the baking of texture. As you know how to open the UV, how to implement the texture in the model, we have to select each and every part at first. So at this time we have just used this one, and we'll select this part. This is the top and bottom. Select by holding shift, edit, and same, convert to file texture Maya software. Okay, convert and close. Now new texture has formed. We'll select this part. So this is the Lambert 6, and we'll go to edit, and here we have the convert to file texture Maya software. Click here and convert and close. So right now we have just converted the texture, and what else we have to do, just select this part, go to ground, because we need the light, we need the shadow to be bounced into here because we have a ground. So we'll go to edit, convert to file texture Maya software, click here, convert and close. Okay, so right now we have converted. As you can see, the shadow has formed here. Okay, so the shadow has formed, and right now what else we have to do, just close this part, and now we will go to the render settings, and in render settings we have this features called render using. Now I will change to mental ray. As we have changed to mental ray, I will go to features and just see that global illumination caustics is off because we are baking the texture, and if we increase this or check this, definitely the time will increase, render features and all. So I will just check each and everything is fine. Yeah, we have to just open this one including the shadow and contours. We will go down, we'll see. Okay, rest is fine. Now I will just go to indirect lighting, make sure that I will just off this global illumination and final gather, as it will take maximum time, so I will just off this. And now what I will do, I will go to the this panel and will change to rendering. So after getting to rendering, we have a particular section called light and shading. So we'll go to this panel, and if you are not selecting anything in the model, no problem, we go to light and shading, and in light and shading here you have the particular section of batch bake mental ray. So we'll not click here, we'll go to the settings. So when you click the settings, here is the setting and we have object to bake all. If you have selected something, you can go to selection, but we will bake all the objects. And one more thing, bake optimization multiple objects. Okay, fine, we need to bake the shadow because yeah, we needed the shadow because we have used the light. Okay, the rest are fine. Now it will take some time, as if you click on convert and close, it will take some time, and after that it will right now it's calculating, and yeah, it's done. Now you can delete the light. If you delete the light, it will not affect your scene because your scene is now become the proxy and will render the same data. Let's have a look. So as you can see, it's baked, and now if you increase the size of the shadow, definitely it will produce some more good result. So right now, as we can see, the shadow quantity is not fine here, but in rendering it is not like that. Okay, so as you can see, if you delete the light, then also your shadow, your texture will be there. Okay, so like this way you have to just work, and make sure that whenever you're working, if you select any model, open it UV at first and then apply the textures. Okay, if you have some inorganic thing like particularly the bike and all, you can use shaders as well. And if you are using any character and all, you have to open the UV, then you will just put the texture and do your baking of texture and lighting in it. So we will discuss this more, but in next tutorial I will take a high poly car and will lower its all the settings like the shadow settings and the texture settings. So we will form a proxy model of that car with the help of baking of texture and light in Maya. So let's switch to the next session.